Hey guys, I'm here today. We're going to install some memory I just got from a good friend of mine off of the PowerPC gaming lounge. He had some memory he was selling, so I went ahead and got some for this wonderful iMac G4. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up and install it. This is going to be a long continuous video. I'm not going to cut it or edit it, but I will have different shots, and if you can see, I'm using a Mevo to record this with, so we'll see how this goes. So let's go ahead and get a different angle view here, and go ahead and open this up. Alright, this is what we got here. Well packed there, Rocky. So, as everyone knows that this computer actually takes two different types of RAM. So we are going to put in a regular stick of RAM, and then a SODIMM also is what this also takes. So we're going to put this in as well. These are both 1 GB sticks, so it should theoretically put my computer up to 2 GB of RAM. But before we do that, let's go ahead and power up the machine here real quick and show you that it does work. I am using a wireless mouse, by the way. It's a Logitech little wireless mouse. It's got the little puck in the back, or the plug in the back of the computer. Works pretty good. I am running 10.4 on here. As you can see about this Mac, should be 10.4.11. Yeah, 10.4.11. But not sure if you could see this or not, but it does say 512 megabytes of DDR SD RAM. So we are going to change that. So hopefully, let me see if I can't zoom in any further with the camera here. This is one of these cameras that's on a tripod that I can cut out different scenes and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. So let's go ahead and shut this down. And I have the screwdriver here ready. So let's go ahead and switch over to this view. Give it a little bit wider view here, so let's see how that goes. Alright, first off, let me move my RAM out of the way. And we're going to move the mouse. And we're going to take the machine, spin it around. I'm going to take off the keyboard, unplug the power, and unplug the network. So once we get that done, I'm going to go ahead and move my keyboard out of the way too, so I have it in the way. But what we're going to do is turn this thing around, and I'm going to flip it on its display like that. And don't sit there and fuss at me that, oh, you should have something underneath that. This thing is old. It's already got some scratches on the front, so I'm not too worried about that anymore. First thing I'm going to do is remove these 4 screws right here. They're just regular Phillips head screws. And these are held captive, so they don't come out all the way. So let's go ahead and pull those out. I don't talk much on here, so you guys are going to have to forgive me on that. So now you're going to see back here, you're going to see the place for the SODIMM and a place for a airport card. This I actually cut out because I was trying to put a Bluetooth module in, but apparently the Bluetooth antenna is not hooked up to this machine, so I was not able to do that. Plus I really don't need Bluetooth anyway, so it's not a big deal. So next thing we're going to do is, first off, I'm just going to fit the SODIMM in here. So this is the SODIMM that I'm going to put in there. So basically it just fits in here like that, and you click it in. Simple, easy peasy. Alright, next bit is these 4 screws right here. Now I need to grab a Torx head, because this takes Torx screws. Okay, and I actually happen to have one. This Cobalt tool set is pretty cool. Not that I'm getting paid by them or anything, but I have had no problems with that. Now, these things are really long, and they do actually come all the way out. And what we're going to do too is we're going to also throw some new thermal paste in here too. Even though I did put new thermal paste just recently, a couple months ago, since I'm opening this up, I'm going to put some more on, because when you open up one of these, the heat sink is actually connected to the top piece. So whenever you open the bottom piece of this off, you're actually separating the heat pipes from the heat sink on the CPU. So you have to put new thermal paste on that. I am not going to take the heat pipe off of the CPU itself, so we won't do that. That still has good thermal paste on it. Since I only did it a couple months, actually about a month ago, I think, when I put it on there. So we will put some new thermal paste on there. And these screws are just way long. And come on, there we go. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to separate around the side here this plastic piece, and it's already separated a little bit. So basically, I'm just going to pull that out, and now I'm going to rotate this, because now it's going to come down a little bit, and you got all your cable connectors and everything like that. Now, one of the things you can do is disconnect the drives, make it a little easier to come down. Now down here is your CPU, and then this is where the points are that you're going to repaste. So I'm going to clean those up. And also on top here and here is where these two make contact with the heatsink that goes up to the bottom, and the fan is actually on the top of the machine. So we're going to do that. But one thing I'm going to basically do is I'm going to replace this RAM stick with the new one. So we're going to go ahead and remove it by pulling these two tabs and pulling it out. Now I had this in here, Super Talent 512 megabit. It's not the original one that actually came with it. This was actually a better one than what came with it, even though it was the same exact size. So we're going to throw this one in. This is the new one that Rocky sent me, and basically you just push it in until those clip in on their own, and that's pretty much it. I recently just blew all this out, so I'm not going to blow it out again, but we are going to clean up thermal paste and put some new stuff on it. Alright, so I just got an old towel here, so I'm just going to wipe off this stuff. I mean, it's still actually pretty decent, but I want to put some new stuff on it anyways. A lot of people use alcohol. I do use alcohol, but since I just redid this recently, I'm not going to worry too much about that right now, because actually it came off pretty good. It's actually clean. I have no problems with that. So, take my thermal paste, and I'm just going to put a drop here, and one over here on this side. Now, some people just like to put the drop. Me, I'm going to use my little spreader that I have. If I can find it. If not, I have one of these little handy sploogers. I like to spread it around just a little bit, just to get it a little bit more contact patch there. That's just me though. You don't have to do it that way, but that's just me. Alright, so we got that on there. So now, this is going to be quick and easy, by the way, so it's not going to be that long of a video. So So now we're going to reconnect the drives, the CD and the hard drive. Connect right here. Probably can't see that on camera because it's at the angle I'm at. But these things don't have a lot of play in it, so that's why I do it that way. Alright, so we're going to get that. And what you want to do is line up, there's a little lip right here, and then there's a little slot right there. That's where you want to line these things up at to make sure that your screw holes are going to be lined up. It looks like I got it. So now we're going to throw in the screws. Really need to get an electric screwdriver again. I have one, but I just don't ever use it. Okay, me, I don't particularly tighten them all the way down yet. I like to get them in first. And then, like a car's tire on the lug nuts, you want to do like I do that. I do it like an X pattern to tighten them down. So, it's just me. You don't have to do it this way, but that's just the way I do it. Alright, so almost done, and then we're going to torque them down just a little bit. Like I said, these are some long screws, and I need my electric screwdriver back. I missed that thing. So, alright, start tightening these things down. That one. That one. And you want to get these tight because this is what holds those pieces together that I put the thermal paste on. You want to make sure that these screws right here are tight. Alright, so now we're going to switch bits. Go back to my Phillips head and take my bottom base cover and line up the screws like so. And just screw them in. These don't take much to screw them in. But you have to have a fine tip Phillips head screwdriver. And I have one on here, so that works out pretty good. Alright, so we're going to lift it back up very carefully. Okay, I'm going to put my arm back around my normal position. And we're going to plug all the stuff back in. Got the power cable, the network. Oh. Why is it not wanting to? There we go. That one in, and then the keyboard, of course. So let's get my keyboard. And I'm using it's actually the Magic keyboard from my 2017. And it works pretty good with this. And that's because I don't have a regular keyboard for it. And that person knows who I'm talking about. I'm supposed to be getting one, so he'll probably comment on this video if he sees it. So, alright, so let's go ahead and expand out a little bit here. And we're going to turn it on for the first time after installing the memory. See how it works. Get my mouse. That's a good sign. Hearing the Apple bong. And we'll see how this goes here in a second. Not too bad so far. It's only been 14 minutes in this video. Alright, so I got it back up and running. My computer's date, so basically it's saying it's wrong, but it'll reset itself because it's hooked up to the internet. Okay, let's go with about this Mac. And now it says I have 2 gigabytes of DDR SRAM, so it works perfect. Thank you, Rocky. That stuff works great. We're going to go look at the more info real quick. Let me zoom in here, see if you can, I don't know if you can see this on the screen or not, but we're going to go to the memory, and we're showing in the DIMM 0 slot, we're showing 1 gigabyte of DDR SRAM PC 2700U 25330. Status is okay. And in the DIMM 1 J20, we're showing 1 gigabyte of DDR SRAM PC 2700U 25330. So they're both the same speeds and everything. So this thing is working like a champ. So Rocky, I appreciate the memory there, and I will put this stuff to good use. That's all, folks. So we will talk to you guys later.